The smell of garlic butter and seared steak filled the air, but I couldn't taste anything. My 7-year-old son, Liam, sat beside me, staring down at the empty plate in front of him, his small hands folded on the table like he was afraid to move. Across from us, my sister, Claire, cut into her filet mignon, her diamond bracelet catching the candlelight as she laughed at something her husband, James, said. Then the waiter returned with 2 more plates, lobster tail and truffle pasta, and set them down in front of Claire's kids. Liam looked at them, wide-eyed. His stomach growled softly, and I felt my face heat. Claire turned to him, smiling tightly. "Oh, sweetheart, we didn't order for you," she said, her tone syrupy, almost pitying. "But you can have some bread." She slid the small bread basket toward him like she was offering charity. The words hit me harder than I expected. "We didn't order for your son." My son. Her nephew. Something cracked quietly inside me. Liam glanced up at me, confused. "Mom, it's okay," he whispered, trying to sound brave. "I'm not that hungry." I forced a smile, but I could feel my throat closing. "You are, baby. You're starving." "Really, Jess," Claire said, cutting me off. "You should have told me if you couldn't afford dinner. I thought this was my treat for us adults, not a family field trip." James chuckled softly, not looking up from his phone. The sound made my chest tighten. "Don't worry," I said, reaching for my wallet. "I'll order something for him." "Actually," Claire said, stopping me with a raised hand, "the kitchen slammed. We already paid. Let's not make a fuss." Her words stung, but I swallowed my pride. It wasn't about me. It was about Liam. The bread basket wobbled as Liam reached for it, his small hand brushing crumbs aside to find a single cold roll. My chest ached watching him chew slowly, pretending it was enough. And that's when I noticed James watching him too. But not with discomfort, with something closer to guilt. His eyes flickered toward me, then back down. I'd seen that look before. Years ago. On a night I'd tried hard to forget. 3 months earlier. Claire had shown up at my house unannounced, wine in hand, claiming she needed a break from mom life. We'd stayed up late, reminiscing, laughing, until she'd gone quiet. Then she said it. "You're lucky, Jess. You have a son who adores you. James, he wants one, but I can't do it again. I'm too tired, too old for diapers." It was the first time I'd seen her cry in years. I'd comforted her, but something about how she looked at Liam when she tucked him in that night unsettled me. Tenderness, yes, but something else too, a longing that didn't belong to her. Now, as I watched James push his food around, avoiding my eyes, that night replayed in fragments, her calls about babysitting Liam more often, the way James started picking him up instead of her, to give Claire a rest. The restaurant noise dulled around me. My chest buzzed with something electric. Panic, maybe. My fork trembled in my hand. Claire leaned back in her chair, sipping wine. "You know," she said casually, "Liam's really been such a comfort to James lately. He says it's like having the son he never had." James stiffened. I looked between them. "What do you mean?" Claire smiled, too wide. "You know. Male bonding. He talks about Liam all the time." My mouth went dry. I could hear the faint clink of ice in her glass. "That's nice." But the air between us shifted. I saw how James avoided looking at me, how Claire's voice wobbled just slightly, like she was daring me to connect the dots. Liam tugged my sleeve, breaking the silence. "Mom, can we go home now?" I nodded quickly. "Yeah, baby. Let's go." Claire's smile faltered. "Already? We just ordered dessert." I stood. "He's tired. School night." She gave a soft laugh. "You're always running off." "Maybe because I have a kid to feed," I said, too quietly for anyone but her to hear. Her expression hardened, but before she could reply, I took Liam's hand and walked out. 2 weeks passed before I got the call that shattered everything. James's number lit up my phone late one night. I almost ignored it, but something in me, that gnawing suspicion, made me answer. "Jess," his voice cracked. "Please don't hang up." I froze. "What's wrong?" "It's about Claire." A long pause. She found the paternity results. The world tilted. My knees nearly buckled. What are you talking about? She did a test, he said, voice breaking. With Liam's hair. She said she had to know. Jess, his mine. For a second, I couldn't breathe. My body went cold, my mind blank. The sound of my heartbeat drowned everything else out. No, I whispered. No, that's not possible. But the truth was already clawing its way up my throat. Every memory of that night, the wine, the blurred laughter, the comfort that turned into something else when James showed up to pick her up because she was too drunk to drive. The way his hand lingered too long on my shoulder, my grief after my divorce, the loneliness I had tried so hard to forget. I dropped the phone. The betrayal wasn't just his. It was mine too. Now, sitting in my car outside that same restaurant, I watched through the windshield as Claire's family climbed into their SUV. Liam slept in the backseat, his small face peaceful, unaware of the storm surrounding him. James helped Claire with her coat, his hand resting on her back like everything was normal. But she wouldn't look at him. I could tell she knew I knew. For a moment, our eyes met through the glass. Hers were cold, defiant, but trembling. I started the engine, heart pounding. I wasn't sure what came next. Whether forgiveness was even possible, or if the truth would destroy what little family Liam had left. But as I looked back at my son in the rearview mirror, one thought anchored me. The betrayal had ended tonight. The shame, the silence, all of it. Because tomorrow, the truth would finally have a name. And it would no longer be whispered in someone else's house.